Imagine two princes, both ensnared by love, both standing at the crossroads of heart and duty, yet making choices that would echo through generations. One abdicated the throne in 1936 rather than live without his beloved. The other in 2020 relinquished palace protocol to protect his growing family. Their stories are separated by time, but bound by the same age-old tension, when personal desire collides with the immovable weight of tradition. Welcome back to our channel, your definitive source for the untold human dramas unfolding within the House of Windsor. If you value these deep dives into the royal saga, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that little bell. Your support allows us to keep bringing you these richly detailed accounts. The king who gave up a crown for love. Let's start in the frosty winter of 1936. Europe trembles on the brink of another war. The British Empire spans the globe, and at the very heart of it all sits Edward Albert Christian George Andrew Patrick David, the Prince of Wales turned King Edward VIII. He inherits the throne after the sudden death of his father, George V, but from day one, his heart belongs to Wallis Simpson, an American socialite twice divorced in an era when divorce was a scandalous taboo. A constitutional crisis unfolds. When Edward ascended on January 20, 1936, Wallis was on his mind. Courtiers whispered. Politicians fretted. And the Archbishop of Canterbury, Cosmo Gordon Lang, warned that marrying a twice-divorced woman, with living ex-husbands, would scandalize the Church of England. Prime Minister Stanley Baldwin delivered an ultimatum: sacrifice the marriage or sacrifice the crown. When Edward refused to be parted from the woman he loved, he took the only path left. On December 10, 1936, in a radio broadcast heard by countless households, he announced his abdication. I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility, and to discharge my duties as king as I would wish to do without the help and support of the woman I love. Every syllable trembled with raw honesty. This was no scripted press release, but a monarch bearing his soul to a stunned public. His younger brother, Bertie, who would become George VI, stepped in, forging a new path for the monarchy through World War II. Exile and title, the Duke of Windsor. Edward relinquished his crown and became Duke of Windsor. He and Wallis wed in French exile in June 1937, a private ceremony devoid of royal attendance. The couple took up residence in the French Riviera and Nassau, forging a life buffered from the glare of Buckingham Palace. Yet Edward's pain lingered. Wallis was styled Her Grace, but denied Her Royal Highness, a calculated slight that reminded him and the world that he was no longer sovereign. Their marriage endured until Edward's death in 1972. Wallis lived on until 1986, often in the shadow of the man who had given up everything for her. Their saga remains a poignant testament to the redemptive and catastrophic power of love. The modern prince who chose a new path. Fast forward to January 2020. A global audience watches another royal couple at a constitutional crossroads, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. This time, there is no abdication. No crisis of succession. Yet their decision to step back, as senior royals, would set the palace abuzz with speculation, and redefine what it means to be modern royalty. Megxit, a different kind of departure. Harry, ever the rebel in uniform, had married Meghan, an American actress, in 2018. The world hailed their romance, until relentless tabloid harassment and institutional inertia wearing down Meghan's spirit. By 2020, the couple sought to carve out a progressive new role within this institution, they said. Negotiations at Sandringham yielded a compromise. They would relinquish their senior working roles, forfeit public funding for their household, surrender military appointments and royal patronages, keep their Duke and Duchess titles, retain His or Her Royal Highness as courtesy styles, but not for official use. They moved to Montecito, California, with infant Archie. Their Archwell Foundation would allow them to pursue chosen causes, mental health, racial justice, environmental action, beyond palace walls. The stakes: privacy, purpose, and succession. Critics cried betrayal, supporters hailed liberation. Social media erupted. Family tensions ran high. Yet, crucially, Harry retained his place as fifth in line to the throne, unlike Edward VIII, who severed his succession rights entirely. This distinction underscored changing royal norms. Personal autonomy no longer demands total exile from the institution. Meghan and Harry's leap reshaped the monarchy's public image. They harnessed Netflix, Spotify, and Hollywood red carpets to broadcast their narrative, a story of resilience, of privacy reclaimed, of a new model for 21st century royals. Their approach, while divisive, undeniably expanded the global footprint of the Windsor brand. Parallels and divergences: love, duty, and the crown. What connects these two seismic moments separated by nearly a century? At their core lies the same conflict. When the human heart demands more than the crown allows, who wins? Love versus duty. Edward VIII gave up sovereignty rather than abandon his love. His abdication posed a genuine constitutional emergency, altering the line of succession and straining the empire's stability. Prince Harry sought to redefine duty on his own terms. No constitutional collapse, but a significant reputational challenge. Could royals thrive outside the institution's rigid framework? Exile and reinvention. Edward, exiled in Europe, his legacy entwined with the melancholy glamour of Riviera living. He became a cautionary tale about love's costs. Harry, self-exiled by choice, building a media empire and philanthropy brand in California. He reframed exile as reinvention, a modern survival strategy. Institutional adaptation. Post-abdication, George VI restored confidence, Elizabeth II ushered in a long period of stability, and the monarchy emerged stronger, albeit more circumspect. Post-Megxit, Charles III's reign begins amid calls for slimmed-down monarchy. William's era looms with promises of royals with a small r. The institution faces relentless scrutiny, but also opportunities to modernize and diversify. What this means for the Windsor future. We stand today at another royal inflection point. King Charles III, having navigated his own trials, personal loss, chronic health battles, now shoulders the institution into an uncertain era. Generational transition. William and Catherine, embraced as the People's Princess generation, must balance service with authenticity. Global brand. Harry and Meghan's continued media presence fuels both fascination and fatigue, challenging the palace's control over its narrative. Institutional reform. Conversations swirl around cost, relevance, transparency, and diversity. Can the monarchy survive by shrinking, or must it evolve by embracing new voices? In the end, these two stories, Edward's abdication and Harry's Megxit, reveal that even the most ancient institutions are at the mercy of human hearts. They remind us that behind every crown lies a person who feels, who loves, who sacrifices. Over to you. Does Edward VIII's abdication stand as a tragic sacrifice, or a daring triumph of love over power? Is Harry's step back a necessary evolution, or a wrenching severance from duty? And can the monarchy adapt without losing its essence? Share your thoughts below. We read every comment, and your insights fuel our exploration. If this expanded journey through royal history moved you, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and tap the bell so you never miss a chapter of the Windsor saga. The crown endures, but it is the choices of its people that truly shape its destiny. Thank you for watching. Until next time, may your own quests for love and purpose find harmony between heart and heritage.